In this video, I bring to you some great books, and these are books that I'm myself very much excited about because these are books that I just can't wait to grab and read myself. These are the buzz books that I just cannot wait to talk to you guys about, and these are the upcoming books that I'm so excited about. Hey guys, I'm Sankalpita and you're watching Book Geeks India, which is a channel where I make book related videos. In this video, I thought why not talk to you about some latest upcoming books that are going to come to the market, Indian market very soon. Now most of these have not been released yet, but yes, some of these have been released. And in this video, I bring to you books which are a mix of Indian and international authors, Indian and international books. And now without any hangama, let's get on with the video. So book number one that I want to talk to you about is Survive the Night by Riley Sager. Now this book takes you to the year of 1991 where we meet this young college student called Charlie. Now Charlie just wants to get away, take a break from college, and she wants to go to her hometown in Ohio. Why? Because just recently her best friend was murdered. Her best friend actually became the victim of this serial killer who's now being termed as the campus killer. So it's pretty understood, right, why Charlie wants to go away. Now Josh is another guy who also is looking for a break and he wants to go to Ohio, the same place as Charlie is going. So Charlie decides to hitch a ride with Josh. And while they're on this journey, traveling through long, deserted, twisty highways, somehow Charlie realizes that there's something fishy about Josh. He is not being true to her and he definitely is hiding something. Number one, he doesn't want Charlie looking in his trunk. Number two, there are definitely some loopholes in his story about his father. Now, Charlie definitely is a little scared and also a little nervous, and she doesn't know who Josh is. For all she knows, he can also be the campus killer. Now, all that remains for Charlie to do is survive the night, and that is also the title of this book. So, I'm very excited about this book because if you guys remember last year, I had read Riley Sager's Home Before Dark, and I absolutely loved it. If you don't remember, also, I had spoken about that book in one of my videos recently, the best mystery and thriller books, and you guys have to check that book out if you still haven't. I just loved it, and I'm sure that you would love to. So it's pretty obvious, right? I love that book and I am definitely expecting a lot from this one as well. Now, the book number two that I have for you is Tokyo Ever After by Emiko Jean. Now, this is a book that I chose for two reasons. Number one, I mean, look at this gorgeous cover. Isn't it beautiful? Absolutely gorgeous. And number two is that this book was actually the Reese's Book Club pick for YA, and that gives me all the more reason to pick this one up. So this book tells us the story of this 17-year-old girl, Izumi Tanaka. Now Izumi is a girl whose life is just ordinary, dull, boring. Like her entire existence of 17 years has been just a regular girl's existence so far. Now, Izumi is pretty much aware that her family is definitely not the typical American family, and her life is actually very different from the life of her classmates. But when Izumi discovers the secret of her yet unknown father, and she also realizes that this yet unknown father is actually the crown prince of Japan, her world is thrown in a whirlwind. Izumi just can't wait to get to Japan because this is a country she always wanted to learn so much about. She wanted to discover her roots and now finally she has the chance to do so. But when she gets there, things don't seem as easy as she thought them to be. Like, she is caught between two worlds. In America, she wasn't American enough, and now that she is in Japan, she has to prove that she is Japanese enough to be accepted by her family. So this is like a very interesting take on, I would say, like the Princess Diary or something similar on those lines. But yes, I'm very excited because Japanese books are my current fad right now. I really want to read a lot of books on Japan and books that are based in Japan, so this is a welcome step in that direction. Book number three is For Your Own Good by Samantha Downing. Now, Samantha Downing is an author I have heard a lot about, but I know she's written a lot of books, but I haven't read any of her book till now. So I am really excited about this one. Now, this book tells us the story of this teacher called Teddy. Teddy, who won the Best Teacher Award at this prestigious and very elite academy called the Belmont Academy. Now, everybody knows that Teddy is the best talent that they have at the academy. He's the best teacher out there, the most intelligent, smart of all of them. But nobody actually really knows the truth. Now, Teddy keeps telling that his wife is so proud of him and she's so happy that he has achieved so much in life. But nobody has really seen his wife in a really long time. Now, people at the academy are in awe of Teddy and they continue to admire him when, even after the death of a parent in the academy, Teddy is unfazed. His focus is as sharp as ever and he just wants to get through his goals and achieve what he wants to achieve in life. Now, there are only two things that Teddy doesn't like. Number one, interfering and nosy parents, and number two, bothersome colleagues. Teddy doesn't like any of it and he can't explain enough the importance of sacrificing certain things to achieve their goal. This book sounds like a very dark, twisty, and suspense driven thriller, and I really want to read it because the premise itself is very intriguing. Like the idea of this school setting just makes something click in me. Now, book number 4 that I have for you guys is Orienting an Indian in Japan by Pallavi Iyer. Now, this book is a part travelogue and a part reportage by this famous Indian globe-trotting journalist who finally goes and settles down, who moves to Japan to write this. And this book is like her adventures and misadventures, the story of her many experiences in Japan, and also a lot of questions about Japan that befuddles her to no end. So here she's tried to tell us like inquisitive things and curious things that she's always wanted to know about Japan, the questions that always intrigued her, and she's also given the answers to that. For example, she says that Tokyo has a population of 30 million people. Now, despite this huge population, how is it that children in Tokyo, like 6-year-old children in Tokyo, can still commute to school all by themselves without any safety concerns? How is it possible? Similarly, there are also some other things that bother her. For example, why is it that no Japanese city has trash cans? Or for example, why is it that Japanese temples have Ganesha idols but they're always hidden from the public view? So there are many things that she asks and then she answers eventually. But this book, on a serious note, also talks about a very, very important question, which is why India and Japan, despite sharing an ancient civilizational history, still find it difficult to work with each other, still find it difficult to cooperate with each other in a way they should be. So guys, like I told you, I am looking for books on Japan and this one sounds like a very interesting read. As you guys know me, I love traveling and this is a book that combines my love for traveling, for culture and getting to know something about a country. This sounds like my ideal read. So I'm gonna definitely pick it up very, very, very soon. The next book, which is book number 5, is The Maidens by Alex Michaelides. Now, this is a book which is by the same author who won people and readers the world over with their debut book, The Silent Patient. Now, that is also a book a lot of you guys have recommended to me. If you remember, I'd asked you a question regarding recommending me some great mystery and thriller. I'm definitely gonna check out that book. But since the author is also coming out with the second book, I thought why not include it in my list, and I've also pre-ordered it. So this book talks about a very prestigious and very elite college called the St. Christopher's College in Cambridge. Now, St. Christopher's College is a very closed door society, or not society, a college which is like just close to the outside world. Like people have no idea what goes inside it. And then there is this woman called Mariana who is a therapist by profession and who has only fond memories of this college because this is the college where she met her late husband. But when it comes to her niece, she doesn't have the same kind of memories associated with this college because it is in this college that her niece's best friend was murdered. Now, for some weird reason, all the students of this college are called or addressed as the Maidens, and it sounds very fishy, but I don't know what to expect. Now, Mariana knows very well that the students are nervous. Why? Because somebody has been murdered from amongst them, and that doesn't sound good, right? And she also knows that there is this enigmatic and charismatic professor who has a very sinister kind of hold on these students. Now, when Mariana tries to dig deeper and get into this murder which happened in their campus, she finds out that the professor knows much more than he's revealing. He knows about the victims, he knows much more about the murder that was committed, and there is definitely something fishy about the entire thing. So I'm gonna stop there because that's all I know, literally. That's all the book gives you in the blurb, and I am pretty excited about it because, yes, it comes from an author who is so famous and who made the world read in the year 2020. The next book, which is the book number 6 that I have for you, is The Final Girls Support Group by Grady Hendrix. Now, if you guys remember, I just recently did a video on 5-star reads for voracious readers. And in that particular video, I'd spoken about this book called The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix. Now, incidentally, this particular book is also by the same author. And because I loved reading that book, I was so intrigued and fascinated by like the content it had, the story it had, and it was just amazing. That book was unlike anything I've ever read in my life. So I gave it like a very rare 5 stars. Most of the books I usually give like 4.5 stars if I really enjoy them. But that was the only book in a long time I gave 5 stars because it was just pure awesomeness. So when I came to know that the same author is coming out with his next book, I am definitely pumped about it because I loved reading that book. Now, coming to the subject of final girls, like what the title says. Now, a final girl in a horror movie is someone who manages to survive everything. She's the one who manages to survive despite all odds being against her. She's the one who fights to death. She's the one who even kills the killer, and also the one who avenges her friends and family. So she's like the ultimate fighter. But now in this world, the real world, not the world in which you and me live, but the world of this book, there is a real life final girl, Lynette. Lynette, who survived a very bloody massacre 22 years ago. But Lynette was not the only girl that survived. So there were 5 other girls who survived that horrible massacre, and now, like almost for more than a decade, these 5 girls have been meeting regularly in the support group in which they come together and support each other and also try to overcome the trauma that they face. So they have been meeting regularly, and it is a kind of sacrosanct meeting and in secret meeting. Nobody knows about it except for them, and it is sacrosanct, like nobody misses a meeting. But Lynette's worst fears come alive when she knows instantly that something has gone wrong. How come? When one particular girl out of this entire group doesn't attend a meeting, Lynette immediately knows that something has gone horribly wrong. In fact, she knows that somebody is on the hunt again and somebody wants to finish a job that they had wanted to do 22 years ago. So this is again a story which is very fascinating. Of course, it's dark, it's twisty, but I also like the fact that it is like an all-girl story, like the last book by the same author that I read. And I love the way he writes about women characters. Like his women characters are very relatable and they're like ordinary and extraordinary at the same time. So they're emotional definitely, but they're also very realistic. They are like very strong and bold and powerful. So I am so gonna love this. I know it in my heart that I'm gonna love it. The next book that I have for you, which is also the book number 7, is Mission Shenzhen, India Fights the Dragon by these two Indian authors called Tuhin Sinha and Suraj Clark Prasad. I have been seeing this book for so many days on Amazon, and since the author is a very close friend of mine, I actually requested him a copy to send me a copy, and he's so kind that he's actually sending me a copy. In fact, he just agreed to send a copy today. So thank you, Suraj, for doing this. I am very intrigued to read your book. Now, this is a story which is also very contemporary in the sense that it talks about a pandemic. So the planet is actually hit by a pandemic, I mean relatable much, and then there is this Chinese general called Deng who has the sinister plan to dominate the entire world. But for his plan to work, he needs India to fail. Now, over the years, he's employed a lot of psychological and image tarnishing tools to just do that. But now is the time for his final action, for his final act. And on the other hand, we have like 4 very interesting characters who try to battle it out and who try to stop him at any cost. So we have this ex-army man turned politician, a rookie politician, and then we have this very crafty and very intelligent and also very smart covert raw field officer who is the ultimate diva and also very crafty, like I said. Then we have this female economist who's somehow trapped in London and who talks about out of control monetary policies. And that sounds very fascinating because I'm thinking like it has something to do with the finance angle. I'm not sure what it is, but I am looking forward to it. And then finally we have this Mossad trained assassin of Indian origin who's currently in Istanbul, Turkey, tracking a terror group there. So now this is like a political medico espionage thriller, and maybe it has some financial angles as well because The Economist comes into play, and I am just so excited to pick this one up. I just can't wait to get my hands on it. The next book that I have for you, which is book number 8, is The Lover Boy of Bahawalpur, How the Pulwama Case Was Cracked by Rahul Pandita. Now, Rahul Pandita is one of my favorite authors ever because I loved his book, Our Moon Has Blood Clots, which is like a true story. His story about a Kashmiri childhood that was taken away from him, and how he became a refugee in his own country. So that was a real story about the plight of Kashmiri Pandits, and this one is like a journalistic story, like it's a non-fiction essentially, but it also has like a story kind of format, so it's very interesting to read. That's what I expect it to be. This one actually tells the story of Jaish-e-Mohammed, the terrorist outfit which has been behind a lot of attacks, including the parliament attack all those years ago to the very recent Pulwama attack. Now, this is a book that tells the story of how the Pulwama case was cracked, how a team of very expert and covert NIA operatives solved the unsolvable case, and how did they get behind the culprits. And it also talks about the fallout and the after effects of that attack, which was the Balakot strike. And in a way, it also talks about the various terrorist organizations that are currently operating in Kashmir, the terrorist situation in Kashmir, and covert militant operations which are still undergone on that soil. So, like I said, a non-fiction that I'm so looking forward to, and I just can't wait to get my hands on it. Book number 9 is a book that I have seen a lot of bookstagrammers like feature on their page. I'm just intrigued, like why is it that so many people are reading it? Like the cover does sound interesting and the premise is also very exciting, but I just want to read it for myself and know what is going on. So this is That Night by Nidhi Upadhyay. Now the byline of the book reads, That night, four friends, 20 years, one haunting secret. And it is the story of these four girls who were in college and who decide to go on a night of fun. And what is this night of fun, you ask? Well, it's a night that they decide to just go for some harmless drinking and a game of Ouija. But when that night results in the death of this girl called Sanya, who's the most unlikable person in their hostel, these girls decide to never talk about that night and just let bygones be bygone, let that night go away, be washed away from their memory. But now, 20 years later, somebody is trying to blackmail them about things that only Sanya could have known, and these girls have no idea. Now, when they decide to finally come together after 20 years to discuss that night, and one by one they start narrating their own version of the night, they discover that the stories just don't match. The pieces do not fit together. Why? Because every single one of these friends, they are hiding something. They're not sharing the entire information. And this is a premise, obviously, it sounds very intriguing, and I am looking forward to it like anything. Finally, guys, the last book that I have here, and this was the one which I've already started reading, like as we speak. I'm already kind of 40% into the book. So, this one is The Guilt Trip by Sandy Jones. Now, Sandy Jones is an author whose book I had read last year, which was The Other Woman. And I did not like it like that much. I gave it 3.5 stars, I think so, because it was like okayish. Even though it was so hyped, I found it like okay at the most. But I was ready to give it another chance because number one, the cover was exciting, and number two, the premise sounded very, very intriguing. And number three, because this book is already out on Storytel. It's not yet out in the paperback format, but it's already out on the Storytel audio app. So I thought, why not go ahead and jump in? So this is the book that tells us the story of these five friends who've known each other for a long, long, long time. So much so that they know everything about them. But one of these friends, Will, is now getting married to a much younger lady called Ali. Now, Ali is a seemingly nice girl, and what happens is that these people, they decide to hire a Portuguese villa in Portugal and like do a retreat kind of thing wherein they get to know Will's fiance Ali much better. After all, they're very, very happy about the choices that Will has been making, because until now he had made some dreadful choices in his life, and now that he's finally happy and willing to settle down, they all are happy for him. But when they arrive there for this retreat and also the subsequent wedding, they realize that this retreat was maybe not such a good idea. Why? Because by the end of it, one of them will be dead and the rest of them will be back in their country as prime suspects in a murder. So this again, guys, is a very, very interesting premise, and like I said, I'm 40% into the book and I'm loving it so far. I do not know a lot about it, like who has done what, but yeah, I am just loving the experience. So guys, these were the 10 books that I wanted to talk to you about. 10 upcoming books that I just cannot wait to get my hands on, and I hope that you guys are also as excited about these books as much as I am. And if you ever decide to pick any of these and read it, please let me know in the comments below whenever you do. I want to hear your review of them. So also guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like the idea of this video and you want me to make more such videos in the future, please also let me know in the comments below, and thank you so much for watching it again. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to hit that like and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't. And until the next video, which will be pretty soon, bye.